All right. As you can see, wild card, we did end up losing. We'll explain that in a second. I do want to go through the final scores of some games. Like I said, I'm going to keep Madden installed and do this till the end, as long as my schedule looks as planned. I don't know if any of these other games have started. I know they're not finished. So we're going to give the weekly recap that Madden has a second. I know a lot of you probably have deleted the game or don't even watch them at all. It's not the greatest thing, but you get to see some highlights. So I'm going to just mute myself, let that play, and then we'll talk about the scores of some of the games from Wildcard Week.
Hi everyone, Scott Hansen with you, and this is the EA Sports Weekly Recap. Plenty of action to get you caught up on. We'll start in Jacksonville. The Jaguars at home to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's Brian Thomas Jr. They'll get it out to him left side, and then he'll take it the rest of the way. When you add it all up, it's a 94-yard touchdown. From there, let's go up to the Motor City. Let's look in on the Lions at home to take on Washington. And it's the dangerous speedster, Jameson
That was disgusting,
Williams.
by the way.
One of his 2 touchdown catches.
I swatted
the
the ball
game
just
coming
for that
right
to be
here.
known.
The Lions find a way to get it done. The number 4 seed knocks out the number 5. Lastly, let's head to Buffalo. The Bills hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is Calvin Austin. He's going to bring this one in, and away he goes. 64 yards for the touchdown. That'll do it for us. Until next week, Scott Hansen in Orlando.
So,
good night from
a
all
couple of
us
the games
EA
and
Sports.
stuff. I didn't watch any of the other games. I don't know if I'll watch any of the other games. Shout out Booby, able to get his win there. Based on how this turned out, based on who won everywhere, I did avoid playing the Eagles in the divisional round, so that's solid. Steelers move on. We have another AFC North team. That division was crazy this year. Ravens got to move on, so 2 AFC North teams make it. Jags put the Chiefs team to work. Who won that division? The Broncos, okay. Saints squeaked one out. A lot of close games, a lot of one-score games. We went to overtime. And for those who didn't watch and are just tuning into this, that game was won. We, in the fourth quarter of that game, with zeros on the clock, were tied up and had a Hail Mary. That Hail Mary got called for a pass interference. We were down at like the 3-yard line and could have easily kicked that field goal and won the game. But I decided that's not the fun way to win. It's not cool to end a cycle like that. I didn't want to do it. And honestly, I stand by my decision. I know I lost. But I just would have felt so bad doing that. I would hate for my Madden year to end like that, because that would have been my last Madden game, no matter what. This is my last Madden game I'll play all year until the next one comes out. And I just couldn't. I don't know if he has other leagues, but I didn't want to end that way, and I know he didn't want to either. So I decided, let's go to overtime. He scored first possession very easily. I ran down, I scored, decided to kick the one and not go for the win. I had called almost all my short yardage situation plays against him at that point that I trusted. Obviously, we went over it in the pregame. His linebacker core was just disgusting, and I didn't want to test him on drag routes or anything. His user's good enough where you're worried about it. There was a couple things that didn't go my way that I felt like, oh man, I wish I could have back. Mostly that JMO touchdown that you saw in the highlights, where he just mossed my safety, who's a 90-something overall. But that's not the reason we lose. We lost because we decided to not go for two. We could have won off BS. I didn't feel like that was the right thing to do. Did throw 2 picks. One of them, I mean, his linebacker just mossed my tight end. Whatever. Uh, really efficient offensively otherwise. I forget what that other pick was. It wasn't a pretty one, though. It was a bad mistake. We got 3 picks of our own. For the most part, held Jameer to a decently slow day. I believe that 28-yard run was the game winner in overtime. That was either the 28-yard run or he had another big run that I'm forgetting about. Jaden Daniels, our leading rusher. I mean, that can't happen. This is awful. And that 33-yard run came in overtime. Going into overtime, we had 27 yards of rushing going into overtime. That's why we lose. Nothing to do with Madden. Nothing to do with that JMO catch. We lost because he stopped my run, and I abandoned my run, which is exactly what we said we can't do. Chad Price was the key to victory for the last 3 seasons. But he coached me out of my game. Congratulations to him for moving on. JMO again, 2 touchdowns, 1 in overtime. Obviously that big one. Chad Price had a crazy day in the air. Terry, he had the game-winning catch, put him in field goal range in overtime, and I just kind of begged him to not kick a field goal. He could have won this by 3. I just asked him to not kick a field goal, And to credit to him, he didn't. I respect it. AJ Brown had a good day. Amon-Ra, he couldn't really slow down. McLaurin did his thing. Ibuka never got going. I felt pretty good about what we did to Jameer. Jameer was having a rough time against us. So, it is what it is. Defensively, 14 tackles from Quan. Sack-wise, we got no pressure. Continuously a problem with this roster. Just could never figure out how to get consistent pressure. Interception-wise, Quan had a good one. That was a user pick. Madrano had one. I had a QB spy up, and he just threw it right to my QB spy. Wasn't expecting it. Good adjustment. Quan was a great adjustment as well that I made. Finch was before. That's another thing. Finch, before halftime, had a pick. Returned at 17 yards. Would have been a 62-yard field goal. I missed it. That's a game changer. We would have gone into halftime with the lead instead of down a couple points. But 60-yard field goals, we've yet to hit a 60-yard field goal in this league. Was not in the cards for us. Have trouble with that kick meter. It's no secret. Again, 2 for 3 from field goals. We talked about that. Missed from 62. I'm not going to, be here upset about him missing for 62. He made his 61-yarder with Jake Bates. But Bass 58, we were close. We were close to being able to hit it. Just a little bit off on the accuracy. Punt-wise, great punt day, actually. 2 inside the 20 off the 2 punts. We tried to be conservative on the going for it. Can I see that, actually? 4th down, yes. 4th down conversions, none by us, 2 by him. Does it show the percentage? I swore it did. We stopped him on 4th down at least once, maybe twice. And on our side, we didn't end up going for no 4th down at all. But season just ended based on he couldn't be stopped after a while. That first quarter, you see, it was low scoring. Even going into the halftime, he only had 14. Scoring 26 in the last 2.5 quarters. That's terrible. But we'll go preview some of the next week's matchups. I'll go back to the actual bracket screen. Predictions from here on out. I got Eagles winning round 2. I got my boy Booby checking on to the NFC Championship. I'll take the Broncos. I played against him this season. I beat him, but I'll take him. He's on fire this season. And then I don't think the Jags upset the 3 seed Ravens, but I expect the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, probably against the Broncos. 1 seed matchup is what I expect to happen, just based on how the brackets turned out. I do want to check out, because we said something about the Patriots running the ball. I want to see if he took that advice at all. I don't think he even listened or watched the podcast that we're doing here, but I'm just curious. 5 picks. Oh, he did not take that advice. Granted, I'm not one to talk. I didn't take my own damn advice, but yeah, you lose by 2 scores and turn the ball over 5 times in the air. That hurts. That really, really hurts. 2 of his passes touched the ground on 24 attempts. Yeah, I just, you come back next bat and you really question some of the philosophy things, I think, with that kind of a loss. We'll look at the stats just because. Actually, I don't know what the actual final score of this was. I just noticed it's a sim win, so they obviously disconnected. But yeah, there's too many games to go through everyone's stats. I don't feel like doing it. But if you got some predictions in there, like I said, I'm gonna see if I do this week by week and see how people like it. But our season comes to a close in a wild card loss. We will look one time at our official coaching stats heading out of this Madden. Can I just see mine? Not really, but kind of. We finish. Granted, there was a lot of losses season 2 with Sims, and then we just lost confidence. But 28-23, very much overwhelmingly a winning head coach if you take away some of our sim losses. Two winning seasons in their 3 years, lost in the first round each time. Something to think about. Losing the first round twice. I think the first time I lost to the Eagles, and I am not shooting myself in the foot for losing to a guy who's 12-2 in the playoffs, and one of his 2 losses coming in a Super Bowl. Whatever. But yeah, 0-2 in the playoffs. One lost to the Eagles, one lost to the Lions in a close game. Who had the best win percentage for the league? I hope this is just active coaches. It's the Eagles. So yeah, I mean, he ran this Madden. Super Bowl wins. 1 by the Browns, 2 by the Eagles. I don't know how many seasons we played. League history. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So yeah, four total seasons. The Bills user won once. Is there no Bills user right now? Interesting. But yeah, that's some of the stuff we saw. Bills and Eagles did a great job running this Madden. Hopefully, next year we'll get a better team. We'll get more of our own stamp on it. And yeah, that's close for now.